Hi guys, I am Miranda and you are here with May Yoga. Today's practice is going to be kind of garnered towards opening your heart. So this will be a yoga for heart practice. There'll be lots of back bends, a lot of spinal movement and everything with a very conscious intention about kind of opening the heart chakra and allowing yourself in these crazy times that we're living in to invite more love and also to give that. So if this is your first time practicing with me, please check the description below this video and look for the link for a separate video called Tips for a Safe Yoga Practice and watch that first. You might need a block if you are beginning on this yoga journey or if you're just feeling particularly tight in your back. That'll help you with some of these poses. And of course, having that water is always a good idea. So let's start just seated here for a moment, bringing the hands together at the heart in an Anjali Mudra to invite in more love, closing the eyes and slowing the breath. All right, let's get started by going into a little bit of a spinal warm-up. Bringing the right hand away from the body. I'll be your mirror here, perpendicular from you, bending into that right elbow, and then swinging that left arm up and over. Left palm is facing down. Going into this lateral bend, turning the head to look up at the sky. Breathing into the space you're creating. And then pushing into that right hand, switching sides. Left hand comes down, bending into that left elbow. Right arm swoops up and over. Looking up at the sky when you're in your full lateral bend. Sit bones are grounded. Make sure you're not letting that right sit bone disconnect from the earth. Keeping your hips even here, working into the spine. Last breath. And then inhale, pushing left hand. Going into a little bit of a spinal twist movement now. So twisting over, left hand comes on top of that right leg. Right hand behind you, one palm length away from the back. Looking over behind you, over that right shoulder. Sitting up nice and tall. And just squeezing the inside, squeezing your core. Inhale, arms come up. And now going to the other side, right hand comes down on top of the left leg, left hand one palm length away from the lower back. Twisting here, wringing out the sponge that is your torso. Very nice. Inhale, arms come back up, palms together, exhale down to your heart. Now pushing that block off to the side for now. We're going to come over to our hands and knees. So Barshanasana, knees are stacked under the hips, hands are under the shoulders. We're going to go through a few cat-cows. Great way to start to warm up that spine. So on your inhale, your belly drops, you're arching into that lower back, squeezing the shoulder blades together, and then looking forward and up. Exhale, round those shoulders, navel gets pulled into the spine, head drops down. Moving here with the breath, of course, going at your own pace. If it feels really good in one spot, you can hold there and then come back with the breath movements when you're ready. Just doing this simple undulation of the spine, preparing ourselves for some kind of deeper, perhaps a bit challenging back bends later on in this practice. Last one, inhale, moving through to cow, and exhale, chin to chest for cat. We're going to move towards a yogic squat, kind of working into the hips a bit. So bringing yourself onto your feet. You can push back on the balls of the feet. Now I'm going to show you from the front what this looks like, and then I'm going to turn to the side so you can see the bind I'm doing. So a yogic squat, this is where some people might need a block. So if you are new to yoga, if you're feeling a little tight today, you can always grab a block and put that underneath your sit bones if you need a bit of height to stabilize you here. Okay, the object though is to have your feet about hip width distance apart, toes are pointed out, And you want to have those feet to the ground, which is why that block comes in handy if you need it. So when you find your yogic squat for a moment, bring the hands together at the heart. Again, finding that Anjali Mudra, finding your balance here, closing the eyes. Elbows are on the inside of the legs, opening up your hips, opening the groin, grounding you here. And I'm going to turn slightly to the side so you can see this little hand bind I'm doing. So keeping your yogic squat seat, you're going to bring that left hand out in front, left fingertips are down on the ground, and then right arm floats up to the sky. On the exhale, bend that right elbow. You're going to bring the right hand behind your back, turn all the way here so you can see this. Behind your back, the back of that right hand is across the back, and then the left hand reaches behind, and you hold those hands. If you can't reach, it's fine. Just bringing that hand behind you, and that left hand can stay in front. That's still okay. You're still thinking of opening the shoulders and the chest here. Holding here for this last moment. And then to release, you're going to bring that left hand back in front, right hand floats up, and now we're switching. So the other hand comes down, going into that bind behind the back. Reaching for those hands if you can. If you can't, it's fine. Just bringing that other hand behind the back, and then shining that heart. You're going to hear me say that a lot today. So always think about your heart is your center. We're trying to kind of activate that energy a bit more today while working the back. Last breath here. Very nice. Release slowly back to your yogic squat. Next, we're going to work towards downward facing dog. So you can go ahead and sit back or go to your knees, however you like, to come over to the side. First to hands and knees here. And then hands are shoulder width distance apart. Open up the fingers nice and wide, pressing into the palms. Tuck those toes under. Exhale, lift the hips up, press back to dog. So your ears are between the arms. Your feet are shoulder width distance apart. Walk the dog here, pedaling out your feet, loosening up the ankles, the calves. And now we're going to move to dolphin, which is a great way. It's an inversion, but it also is a little more focus on those shoulders. So to do this, you're going to, one at a time, gently come down on the forearms, clasp the fingers. So now your elbows are shoulder width distance apart, and sink the hips back. Your head may touch the mat. If it doesn't, it's okay. You're not putting pressure on the head, though. And then we're moving to Sphinx next, guys. So rock yourself forward, walk those feet back a little, coming all the way down to the mat. Elbows, again, are under the shoulders. Your forearms are down on the mat, palms are down. Sphinx pose is a nice little gentle back bend here. So you're free to stay here, just enjoy that, using the forearms to help pull you forward. Opening the shoulders, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Of course, feel free to stay here, or if you would like, we're going to go to Cobra next. So if you want to join me for that, I'm going to push this little block of water out of the way. You can release yourself down to the mat, maybe the right cheek first. Hands come under the shoulders. Zipper those legs together as tight as you can. It's best to try to keep the legs together so you don't have to worry about twisting your back, but it's okay. Some people do have their legs a little apart. As long as you keep those hips grounded here, hands under the shoulders. On the inhale, lift yourself up, just doing maybe a half cobra with your belly stays pretty low and connected. Or if you're feeling more flexible, go ahead and rise up to your full Bhujangasana. Toes are pointed back, your gaze is forward. Looking forward here, squeezing the shoulder blades together, opening the chest. Making sure you're not like a turtle in your shell sinking down. You're rising up out of that shell. Inhale here, and then exhale. Drop down the left cheek now, just so we get that full movement here. Dropping that left cheek down, arms relax at the side, palms face up. Going into our second round of Cobra or back to Sphinx if that's what you need today. Bring the hands back to the mat under the shoulder or the elbows down if you're moving to Sphinx. On that inhale, again, push into the hands. Rise up here, going into that back bend, looking forward. Shoulders are dropped away from the ears. Elbows are kept close to the body. Okay, bringing those elbows close to the ribs, pushing into the hands. You start to feel a little more loose in that back, hopefully by now. We're going to release that a little bit by going to our beautiful child's pose next. So coming up on the hands and knees, walk those knees forward. Open the knees up as wide as the mat. Big toes touch, and then sink your hips down. Releasing the forehead down to the mat. Your hands can be active here, helping pull you forward on the hands to release the shoulders. Closing the eyes here, and just taking a few breaths, releasing all that back bend work we just did. Alright guys, so feeling a little bit of that release from that child's pose. Next we're going to go on to what might be a bit challenging for some. We're going to do Hatha, which is half frog. So this is a really great back bend. It's also really great if you're trying to work up to a pigeon, like a king pigeon pose. So it's a great practice, obviously, and we are activating that heart chakra a bit more today, so it's good for that as well. So coming up, we're going to return back down to our bellies, to prone. So returning to the stomachs, and then bringing the elbows back under the shoulders. This is going to look like Sphinx to start off with. So from here, you're going to work one side at a time. That's why it's called half frog. So let's start on our right arm and left leg kind of thing. So you're going to turn your right hand 90 degrees like it's coming towards your left elbow. The right arm, forearm is now going to be parallel to the front of that mat. You're going to use this as a stabilizer, so the focus of the stretch goes to where it should be. You don't have to worry about twisting here. You're doing more of a back bend. So keeping that right arm nice and grounded to help stabilize you here. You're going to start to bend the left knee, bringing the left heel towards the buttocks. Now for some people you're going to be really, really tight, and that's fine. If this is as far as you are, hold that and you can just keep your arms down. But you're working to get that heel towards your buttocks. So with the left hand, go ahead and lift up your left side, grabbing the inside of that left foot. Again, different stages for everybody. Everybody's body is different, so you might just be here today. More going into this pose a little deeper, you're going to start to turn your hand so the elbow comes up to the sky, and maybe walk the hand up the shin of that left leg, bringing that left hip back down to the ground when you find your maximum of where your hand is. Okay? When you find that maximum, hold that leg, pulling the heel towards the buttocks and looking forward, pushing into that right forearm to keep you stable, shining that heart forward. Ardha Vikasana, little half frog. Really great. You can feel this into your quadricep on that left leg, of course. This is a nice back bend. Good way to work towards that pigeon pose and even that lizard to an extent. Holding here. And then when you're ready to release, slowly walk the hand back up the foot. Nice and controlled here, bringing that left leg back to the mat. Switching sides here, of course, got to do both sides. So now, left elbow under the left shoulder. Turn that left hand, come towards the right elbow. Grounding into that left forearm. Legs are hip width distance apart. Start to bend that right knee, drawing the right foot towards the right glute. And when you're ready, rock over to the left side, reaching back, grabbing that foot with the hand, the inside of the foot to begin, and then pulling it towards your glutes. Elbow goes up to the sky, and then walk the hand up the leg as far as you can. When you have that grip there, that maximum, draw that right hip back down, looking forward. Making sure you're respecting your body here. If this hurts your knees, go ahead and immediately, gently come out of it. Maybe grab a little towel, a strap or something to help draw that right foot towards the glute. Feeling that gentle squeeze in the lower back. Last breath here. And then slowly and softly walk the hand back up the foot. Release that leg back. Bring the arms back down. Nice work, guys. We're going to go onto our backs from here. So we're going to do some spinal rolls. So you can just push into the hands, bring yourself up. If you have a hair clip like me, you're going to want to release that because you are going to be on your back. I kind of forgot about that when I was doing my hair. But you also want to go ahead and have that block because we're going to be moving towards plow, towards halasana, which a lot of people have trouble with if you're starting out or if you're just feeling really tight in the lumbar area. So having a block nearby in case you need it or a big pillow, okay? Spinal rolls are just a nice fun way to release all that work we just did. So wrapping the arms around the legs and maybe grabbing behind the hamstrings. Inhale, exhale, roll back. Inhale, come up. Just doing a few of these, having a little bit of fun here. Remember as a kid we used to roll and tumble all the time. As adults we don't do that enough, all right? So it's kind of a nice spinal massage while you're being a kid. It's the last one. Inhale, come up. Nice. We're going to move back to plow pose, to halasana now. So lower yourself back down to the mat. Halasana is an amazing, it's the best lower back stretch I know, but it is a challenge to do for some, and it's very important that you do it the correct way so that you don't hurt your neck. So when you're doing halasana, you're never going to do what I'm doing right now and look off to the side. So you're really going to need to listen to my guidance so that the back of your head stays connected to the mat. Okay, once we go into this, you do not want to twist your neck at all. So finding the back of the head to the mat, grounding it there. Knees are bent, hip width distance apart, hands are down on the mat beside the body, arms are grounded. You're going to start by drawing the knees into the chest. Now if you need to look at this, if you're not familiar with halasana, go ahead and watch first. I'm going to have my block so I can demonstrate if you need a little assistance in this pose. For those who are more practiced, go ahead and push into the self, drawing the feet up and over so that your knees come towards your forehead, your feet connect to the ground behind you, your chin is tucked to the chest, and if your feet touch the ground, you can remove the hands to the lower back and hold in halasana. For those who need a little bit of help today, grab that block, and you're going to use this block here to kind of help give you a little assistance. Maybe bring it underneath the sacrum here, using that for height, finding whatever you need, maybe the higher part of the block here, pushing into your back to help give you that lift that you might need today. Finding a spot that you can hold. You want to have those arms by your body, unless your toes are touching the mat above you. And just hold here, feeling that release into the lumbar area, closing the eyes, keeping the chin tucked down, not twisting the neck. Whenever you're ready to come out of it, I know my more practiced guys are like right into halasana from the beginning, so you're probably ready to come out. When you are, very important when you come out of halasana, is you want to let the back of your neck can come off the mat a bit. So you're not putting strain on your neck here as you're slowly lowering your hips down. Controlled movement here, pressing the hands into the mat, giving you your foundation, letting the back of the neck come off the mat until your lower back rests, and then tuck the chin down again. Feet are flexed, hold here for a moment in Viparita Karani, kind of letting that back sort of melt here for a moment. Obviously back bends are amazing, but you do want to kind of counterbalance the body. So that's what Halasana is really great for. Nice, beautiful fold. And on your next exhale, slowly start to release the legs. Engage those gorgeous abdominal muscles in a nice, gentle, controlled manner. Trying to imagine there's a little bit of space between the mat and your lower back, but not let yourself pop up too much. And then release all the way down. Finishing off today with fish pose, which is our final kind of back bend work, and a nice little counter movement to Halasana, to plow. So bring the feet to the mat, hip width distance apart, arms beside the body to begin. And you're going to rock on one side, bringing each hand palm facing down on the mat to the ground so that your big toes, your big thumbs, not your big thumbs, just your thumbs, are touching underneath the body. And now you can release the feet down, straighten those legs out. On your next inhale, you're going to go into fish pose. So the crown of your head, the top of your head, is working towards the mat. All right? So inhale, start to lift the chest, bring the elbows between or closer to you, underneath your back. The crown is working towards the mat. You're looking behind you. Holding here. Final little back bend of the day. Really think about your heart chakra, anahata, opening up, shining out. If that image doesn't work for you, it's fine. Just enjoy the release and the back bend. Enjoying what you want to take out of this yoga practice today. Closing the eyes, squeeze the scapulae, the shoulder blades together. Holding here, or for our more advanced practitioners, if you want to engage the lower abdominals, you can lift the legs up a bit. Maybe go with inverted feet or butterfly. Release those knees like I just did. Playing here in this fish pose. Inhale and exhale. Release the legs if you had them up. And then slowly release your head back down, releasing the arms. Finishing up with just Shavasana, if you want to make it a little bit more of that heart opener. Bring the bottoms of the feet together like you're doing butterfly. Just doing a reclined Baddha Konasana. One hand on the heart, one hand on the belly, or arms relaxed at the side. Last few moments, just if you'd like to join me in a little bit of visualization, you can do that or simply relax here. So taking a few breaths. So for our visualization work today, I want you to picture a beautiful, strong color. It could be your favorite color, anything that symbolizes peaceful strength to you. And seeing that color in your mind, imagine filling your heart with that color. Knowing that from your heart center, all positive, beautiful things flow in and out. You can choose to take a few moments every day to build yourself up, build your energy. And that will allow you to work more effectively. It will allow you to love more fully. Allow you to do all of the things in your lives with more power, more kindness, and more intention. So seeing that peaceful and strong color radiating here. If your arms were full at the side, go ahead and bring them inward. Bring both hands over your heart. Right hand on bottom, left hand on top. And in this moment, tell yourself, I am strong. I am peace. I am loving and loved. Slowly come out of this, closing the legs together like a book, and working yourself up to your final seated position. Maybe just rolling over to the right side, and then pushing into the left hand and the right arm to draw yourself up. Coming to cross-legged, or Sukhasana, butterfly, whichever you prefer. And then returning the hands for one final Anjali Mudra at your heart. I give thanks for your joining me today. I hope that this practice, of course, strengthened your back, opened up some space, helped prepare you for more challenging back bend poses in yoga, if that's where you are on your journey. And I especially hope that perhaps this gave you a little bit of respite, a little bit of calmness that we might desperately need in these times. And yeah, if you enjoyed this, please feel free to hit that like button, leave me any feedback, or message me through the Facebook May Yoga page, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I will look forward to seeing you again on the mat very soon. Namaste.